Hello, my name is Sean Williams, and I'll be talking about my experience at WK. Key Kids was heavily Caucasian, with a few of races scattered in between. As far as supervision went, it lacked diversity, and I wonder if that had any effect on how the students perceive themselves. I also think that the demographic at WK might affect how the community of students is, because they may feel a separation due to peers not understanding how they feel or what they are going through. This relates back to the demographic at St. Paul boarding school, I think. While that article focused on privilege, I thought it had racial undertones that related back to my situation at Key Kids. There aren't that many differences between WK and St. Paul's aside from the economic status. As far as class, it was hard to get a grasp at WK. There were a few indicators, however. There were situations where students would have their iPhones out on the playground when we were outside playing, but there were also students who wouldn't be able to come out with jackets or coats because they didn't have them, or they would have dirty or tattered clothing. There was also a situation with a young boy who had lost his mother at a young age and was living with his grandmother. He would act out, and we would have to sit down and talk about why his behavior wasn't acceptable, and he would be very respectful and understand why he was in trouble. But I do think that his living situation had something to do with his behavior. All of this relates back to the on the plate reading and how the upbringing may lead to their success later in life. For gender and sexuality, there was a situation with a little boy and a girl where the girl was, for the sake of explaining, doing things a boy would do, and the little boy was chasing around calling her a lesbian. I assume that based on how the boy was brought up, this triggered him to taunt her and call her names. I think this all relates back to the Education for Equity for the LGBTQ article, and how heterosexism uses homophobia to enforce gender roles, and how the boy calling her names like that may cause her to fear to be herself, whether she is a part of the LGBTQIA plus community or not. I identify as a heterosexual white male, and usually I am the majority. However, in a career field heavily dominated by women, that is not the case. Whether or not that this is true, I hope that my identities do not affect the way that I am perceived by the children I teach because I may be different from them. Thank you for listening.